All right, let's talk about the modulator section down here of the plugin. These are here to turn knobs for you, basically. So in the last video about the arpeggiator, I was showing how you can use this time control to modulate how often a slice gets triggered when you're in this slice length mode, which is kind of unique because it's chopping based on the length of the individual slices, which I don't know of many other plugins or any really that can do that. So what I have going, let me explain this. I have a MIDI clip. Make some of these longer. So that's already generating some variation due to the differences in slice length. But say I wanted to map this LFO to the time control to make it have just a wider variety of things. As the value goes positive, it's going to trigger less frequently. And as it goes into the negative, it'll trigger more frequently. It's a little fast. All right, so that's cool, but I wanted to spend a little bit more time at the extremes of this and at various stages, not just stay, moving back and forth. So what I'm going to do, well, there's a couple controls here that are relevant. One, you could try a different wave. There's a bunch of waveforms here. You could also try a rate clocked to the DAW tempo. Right? But then you could also mix in this stepped sample and hold waveform and adjust the depth. And you could do this for whatever waveform you want. Like the sine one is kind of strange, but I like it. The other thing you could do is you can offset this. Let me put this back in Hertz mode. So you can make it hang more on one side of the values. So this will be less frequently, or this will be more frequently. The other thing you can do is just adjust the center of the control itself that it's modulating. And that's just with one modulator. Like I said, you could do much more. Like if I want to modulate something else with the LFO2, maybe I want to play around with, I don't know, what would be cool? Maybe the transposition. That could get weird. Okay, way too fast. This I actually am going to clock to the project tempo. Okay, so that you get the idea. That's getting into some interesting territory, potentially. I'm just going to put this back on 16th notes. But then also you have envelopes. So these are same thing. They're just turning knobs for you. Like let me unmap LFO2, and instead I will map envelope 1. And there's a couple ways we could make this behave. Like right now, it's going to trigger whenever a new note is thrown into it. But you could also have it trigger whenever the arpeggiator triggers. And of course, you can change the path. And then the other thing is, let me turn the arpeggiator trigger off. You can also loop it. So now, really, now that it's looping, this is kind of behaving like an LFO at this point, just with like a different shape. But hey, maybe you want to do that. Again, you can make this run in hertz to a free running rate, or you can make it snap to a subdivision, and you could do this with both of them. So you have a couple ways that you could use these modulators together to affect the playback of what is happening, especially in like the arpeggiator and these envelopes. Or, I mean, you could modulate the filter and stuff. It's a little bit more standard kind of behavior, but a lot of possibilities with these guys, and just having them move controls for you while you're triggering the arpeggiator with either played in MIDI from a controller or a MIDI clip, as I'm doing right now. So hopefully that ignites some ideas in your mind to go play around with and go make some cool music. So check out the next video where we're going to go through the effects section.